This time we'll call the Cass County Planning Commission to order February 5th, 2019 at 8:30. First thing be a roll call.
Jim Donato.
Here.
John Guy.
Here.
Josh Ladati.
Here.
Mike Kinsey.
Here.
Stacy Odom.
Here.
Chris Poland here. Jim Sailors.
Here.
Fred Seahase.
Here.
Brian Reed.
Here.
Next we'll have the election of officers. First on the ballot will be the president.
I nominate Stacy Odom. Second.
Any discussion? Any other nominations? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You're now in charge, Stacy. I just got time. Jump right in there.
Okay, to finish the election of officers, Vice President.
Second.
Got a first and second. Is there everybody in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Secretary.
Nominate Krista Poland.
Second. Other discussion, nominations? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passes. I think that's got all the officers in it.
Yeah, you can complete assignments now.
The minutes of the last meeting of December 4th was presented and mailed to everybody. If you have a chance to review them, if you have comments or corrections.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, minutes are approved. We don't have any public hearings for today. Reports. The Ordinance Review Committee.
Since this is a new time, I just wanted to make sure that we go back up to, since you're new at this, Stacy, go back up to committee assignments.
Okay.
I just want to review
I
that.
was just reminded.
Okay. So we just need to make sure that everybody's okay with the committee assignments, or if you want to be switched out or changed into a different committee. If we're good with that, we just need to vote with what's been presented, then we just need to vote on that.
Second.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we can go to the
Okay.
report.
So I just wanted to let the Plan Commission know that we have been meeting with the Ordinance Review Committee regarding the wind ordinance and possible changes that will be presented to the board. We last met on January 18th. We've been reviewing ordinances White County, Carroll County, Benton County, Jasper County, Piazziasco County, Miami County, Clinton County, Jay County, the Michigan State University Extension Land Use Series of the November 16, 2017, and looking at Indiana Wind Ordinance Comparison Chart. So those are the areas that we've been pulling out information. And the information that we've been looking into is their approval process, their height, all of their setbacks, so every single setback that they have, blade clearance, noise levels, flicker, decommissioning, lot size, topsoil prevention plans, and anti-icing technology. So we are looking to meet a couple more times and then hopefully be ready to submit our proposal to the board. So I just wanted to give you guys an update of where we were at and what we were looking at, and kind of that process that we're in. So any questions on that? Okay.
So when will the rest of the board, not on the committee, get a copy of the review?
So when we have a finalized draft, we will get a copy.
Prior to the...
Yes, prior to the public hearing or anything that we're going to do with that, yeah.
When you put that I guess the final proposal or whatever together,
what's
new
changed.
proposal is, so
Mhm.
it just makes it very clear to go old, new, old, new, old, new.
Yeah, we can do that. We do currently, just so that you know how we do it, is do a strike through and then an underline, but I'll separate those out so it's instead of having to read the whole document, you can just see the differences.
I think that makes it simple.
Okay.
Everybody, public too.
Anything else?
Okay, thank you, Aaron.
No problem.
The fourth quarter improvement location permit.
Are there any questions on that report or the quarterly report? It's just information for you that we present. So there's not really a vote or anything, it's just if you have any questions on that.
Anyone have questions or comments? Okay. Have any old business or new business, unsafe properties? Name and address.
Thank you. Ruth Baker, 1808 West County Road, 500 North Williamsport.
Okay.
I would like to thank the Cass County Plan Commission for allowing me to speak today. I have been reviewing Cass County ordinances, specifically Ordinance 523, which discusses industrial wind turbines. I would like to say to all of the individuals that worked together to create the ordinance that they did a very good job to include everything known about industrial wind turbines at that time. It was impressive to read about the purpose and intent, which is to preserve the health and safety of the public, the setbacks, which included 1.1 times the height of the WECS tower, and the decommissioning plan, which included outlining the anticipated means and cost of removing a WECS at the end of their serviceable life. I know that a lot of time and effort was put into this working document for Cass County. However, now, 3 years down the road, I feel it necessary to revisit this ordinance with updated research and evidence that these ordinances need to be changed. First, I have 9 pages of industrial wind turbine research and facts from a variety of sources, from multiple countries, and numerous professionals that correlate to these ordinances. The research and facts presented confirm exactly why these ordinances need to be updated. For example, the setbacks on industrial wind turbines should be a minimum distance of 3,960 feet or 6.5 times the height of the tower from the base to the tip of the blade in vertical position, whichever is greater, of a WECS tower being placed on a property. The ordinance needs to be changed because of the research in the article, calculating setbacks with science instead of politics, along with 13 additional sites, which includes a pro-wind site from Old Alliance. Secondly, the noise level of a WECS should be no greater than 32 dBA measured from the property lines of the site in question. Why 32 dBA instead of 60, which is stated in the ordinance? The answer is in numerous documents which discuss dBA, dBc, infrasound, and L-night. A document to read is a 2018 World Health Organization guidelines declare wind turbine noise a human health hazard, along with several other articles which would help the Plan Committee to create 32 dBA in lieu of the 60 measured from the nearest resident. Next, the health effects of the shadow flicker must be addressed, and unfortunately, it is not mentioned in the current ordinance. This ordinance needs to state, at no time shall a wind turbine's tower, nacelle, or blade create shadow flicker on a non-participating landowner's property. Shadow flicker affects health, and the reasons why this should be included in the ordinance can again be found in one of many articles stating this claim. Research tells me that when decommissioning is done on industrial wind turbines, that Cass County should not accept surety bonds, letter of credit, or other financial promise. Monies from the wind companies should be secured in an escrow account, so when the wind turbines are no longer used, there will be money available for decommissioning. In addition, property values should be secured. No guy wires should be used on towers because of FAA. Health effects on humans and impact on animals are addressed, and there should be absolutely no repowering in order to protect and keep the citizens safe of this county. Research has also indicated that it is possible for wind turbines to be built in the southern part of Cass County between the airport overlay and the Grissom overlay. These are the ordinances that should be in place for Cass County due to the best practices that has been researched and why these ordinances need to be in place. Again, I respect people that wrote the original ordinance, but I believe that now in 2019, they need to be reviewed and changes need to be addressed. Again, these 9 pages of research have led me to you today to persuade you to focus on health, safety, and welfare of Cass County. And I have copies of ordinance change and the 9 pages of documents that I have on research and facts, and I'd like to present that to the Plan Committee. Would you like to just take one and pass the rest around? I've included my email, so if there's any questions, I can pass it to you electronically.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Okay.
My name is Katie Witt, 3137 West, 800 North, Royal Center. This letter that I am reading is from a concerned citizen who is unable to make it today. It is with great frustration that I am unable to take my 2 minutes during public comments to share. However, I am unable to use my own personal vacation time to attend another public meeting. During the 2018 calendar year, I mailed you 2 different letters and included research, data, and studies regarding setbacks and safety. Myself or another Cass County resident has asked to be placed on the agenda every meeting for the past 12 months in order to be able to openly present information regarding our concerns. These requests have continually been denied, and we have been informed that we can share during public comments. However, during public comments, sometimes we are limited to just 2 minutes, and others have able to share 6+ minutes. With this inconsistency, we are never given the opportunity to thoroughly share research and data regarding our concerns. We bring 15 minutes worth of information and try to fly through a 2-minute speech in hopes that something we share sticks with you and makes you think about the safety of Cass County residents. Many Cass County residents have spent countless hours over the past year researching, reading, and learning about wind energy and the impacts it could have on our life. We have spent our own vacation time to attend public meetings, to be given a brief 2 minutes to share during the public comments. Unfortunately, I am unable to use any more vacation time at this moment. I am writing you to express my continued concerns and fears of a future wind development in Cass County with irresponsible setbacks and a current ordinance that is not in the best interest of health, safety, and welfare of the residents. A lawsuit was filed against Cass County in which 2 local residents were willing to put their name on. However, this lawsuit is for the people, by the people, and funded by the people. Cass County residents have raised money and funded over $20,000 to help continue this lawsuit that should never have to be. We continue to have to pay an attorney for conference calls to hear that a committee has been formed. We are so thankful that Krista Pullen finally spoke up in September and recommended that the ordinance be reviewed. However, we need much more than this. We do need action. I ask, have you taken time to read the research? Have you investigated safety standards? Have you spoken to people that live near turbines, not landowners who financially benefit from turbines and by contractual agreement are unable to truly share the negative impacts of living near the turbine? Have you sat on the side of the county road during sunset and watched the shadows and listened to the noise? Have you spent your nights and weekends researching? You are at a position on this board that you need to own this ordinance. You need to be confident that this ordinance protects you and your property. You need to be confident that this ordinance protects your son's property. You need to be confident that this ordinance protects your granddaughter. You need to be confident that this ordinance protects your aging parents. I beg and plead that you please give us the opportunity to share where we are coming from and quickly make a positive change of this ordinance. I know many of our surrounding counties have multiple meetings to discuss this important issue. Unfortunately, you avoided us by canceling 7 consecutive meetings, and this is only the 5th meeting you have had in the past 13 months. Please listen to information that has been shared, review information, and protect the citizens of Cass County. Thank you. Paige Whithouse.
Anyone else?
Good morning. Laura Redway, 5524 North, County Road 600 East. Put together, here is the petition for the 1850 signatures that we compiled. And Brian, you had mentioned something like a spreadsheet. It's not a spreadsheet, but it is something that I'm sorry, Brian.
I'm not joking with the name.
Oh, yeah. I was getting Jim I need to have me just hand it out to everybody. In there is the most recent county data that for accidents that shows to date worldwide on accidents that has been because of turbines in there. And also you'll see that there's probably at least 10 different things that has been itemized, and like you were talking, Brian, the how it is now, the ordinance, the current ordinance, how the current ordinance is, the suggestion, at least for you guys to have that conversation. And then in the third column is kind of like why, kind of give you an idea on why. And some of that is there's so much information that I copied off so that way you could read it yourself. And then the current setbacks for all the surrounding counties is also in there. I hope you get a chance to read everything. One of the questions is, it has as far as in the ordinance about application and permits. Is there a difference on if a wind company wants to submit for a permit or an application? Is that the same? Permit and the application are the same? Okay. And when you're filing for this permit and application, where does the BZA come into it?
It depends on planning, on whether there's anything in the BZA that is required. If it's not required, the BZA doesn't come into it unless there's something in there that's contrary to plan.
Okay, because on the table A, it has S for special exception.
Yeah.
And special exception has to go through the BZA.
Yeah.
So it would have to be another step.
Yeah, they
Okay.
had something that was the special exception, yes.
Okay. And then also, Aaron had mentioned about the Michigan State. I have both versions of those, and in the last version, the most updated one, the main difference is the authors like to credit down here, and those are the next era lawyers. So that's something that when I look through, because I compared every paper to each other on both versions, and there's a lot of changing and tweaking, which is more reflective on a pro stance. So that's something that I just wanted to bring to your attention. That's kind of, oh, another piece of information that I didn't get in there because it is this thick, but I would be glad to email it to any of you. This has to deal with, it has fires, it has 911 calls, it talks about ice throw, it talks about blades, just all kinds of, a lot of good information is on there, but I didn't want to settle back here with all of that. And then Aaron talked about, all the other ordinances in all the other counties. Have you spoke with any of the counties as well as, because I know you've spoke with Benton and White, but have you spoke to any of the other counties as far as why they didn't, or why they changed their setbacks, or why they stopped production?
We have contacted several other counties.
Okay.
I can't tell you
Yeah.
that.
And they've been able to tell you why they stopped or why they made their setbacks a little larger? I know.
Depends what we talk to.
Okay. Then the other thing is, on that list of things that Aaron, I got from you, what is the noise profile? How is that done?
Like to measure it?
Yeah, I mean, because you have on here noise profile. What does that mean?
Oh, the elements. So they'll have to tell us what noise they're at based off of where we're calculating. So if we're saying it has to be 60 feet from the property line or whatever we determine, they would have to prove that that's what it's going to be.
Okay. And one of the things on there, as far as the sound, there was nothing in the ordinance, our current ordinance for 2016, for commercial sound. It's just non-commercial. So, I mean, that's one of the main reasons there's a lot of information in there, because there wasn't anything in the ordinance currently for commercial. And that's what we're talking about. There's a lot of things in there, and I know you guys, I don't know how much you wanted to look into it, but the way I see it is every time you bring something like this and then there's a public hearing, then there's a cost as far as advertisement in newspapers. So if we can just get this all done at one time, it's going to save the county money, because we won't have to advertise that there's going to be a public hearing. So that's why we try to get it all done at one time, get it done right, get it done for Cass County. I mean, we don't have to match other counties, but it's a nice mixture, because I think every county has something to offer. So, and that's all I got. Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, we have a motion to adjourn? Motion, second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're adjourned. Thank you.